guys, it is Jen from the Nifty Thrifty Lady.blogspot.com. Thank you for joining me again for the third installment in the How to Save on the Holidays series. The other two installments in this series were on how to save for food for the holidays and how to save on decorations for the holidays. There's going to be one more installment after that, and you can find the first two and this one posted at the niftythrifty.blogspot.com. Today is November 1st here. November 1st means a lot of things. We're closer to winter, we're closer to Christmas, and most of us are probably starting to become into the holiday mode. And I don't think that there's any other topic that we should discuss today on how to save for the holidays than presents and gifts. Over the holidays, I find that you give the most gifts no matter what. It could be to a hostess who is hosting a Christmas party. Obviously, your friend and your relatives are going to be receiving Christmas presents in December. Really, what we need to do is learn how to plan what to spend on Christmas presents, and then how to create a budget for them, how to shop within that budget, and not put ourselves into debt in order to give something to somebody else. Christmas was not intended for that by any means, but that's not what I'm here to lecture about today. I just want to share with you my third tip on how to save for the holidays, and that is really a bunch of tips involved into one big one. So I did some research, and it actually showed a surprising number, and I was actually a little shocked by this because I thought it would be more, but I think that it's a good goal for us to set if we are spending more. The average Christmas budget or gift budget is $548.50, and this information was taken by a consumer poll in 2012. So obviously, with the economy the way that it is probably is down from a couple of years ago. But $548.50 is still a chunk of change if throughout the year you're already struggling to make ends meet. Our Christmas budget here is actually smaller than that, and it's mainly because a lot of our gifts are dual-purposed or homemade, or I've bought them throughout the year off of clearances. All of this we will talk about, so don't panic if your budget is $1,000 and you have 2 people that you're buying for. We will learn how to cut that down today. So the very first important tip that I can give you is to set a budget, but with doing that, it's really, you can set a budget, but how much should I be spending on a person? So let's go into a little bit about what I feel is an adequate amount to spend on somebody. For a child, so if you are a parent and you have children, I think $100 is a perfect amount to spend on a child for Christmas. Does that mean that they are going to get the newest Kindle? Does that mean they're going to get the newest video game? Absolutely not. One tip I would give you, if you do have children that are interested in this type of technology, is to split that gift with siblings. Household growing up, usually we had a very big present that all of us girls would open, and it would be the main one, and then we would have smaller presents. That big present was taken out evenly from each of our Christmas budgets. Then whatever was left would be spent on individually. So that's my tip for buying something big, is take it out of everybody's Christmas budget, and that will help you with their individual. My second tip for buying a really big purchase is check out websites that offer them. And if it's electronics, you do want to buy on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. If it's not electronics, maybe it is a membership, which is a really great gift, and it helps provide savings throughout the year. So if it's a membership to a ski lodge or a membership to a museum, check to see whenever they offer their discount for the next year. I know that our current ski lodge actually offers their biggest discount in October. So if you were at all possible to get them in October, you were saving, I think 35 to 45% off of what they are right now on November the 1st. So know when to buy the products that is really expensive on your list. Another thing is you don't always have to have the very brand new version of what is out this year. Normally, when that new version comes out, the generation before it is going to be marked down tremendously. So maybe it's a Leap Pad, and they just came out with a Leap Pad 2. Right now, that Leap Pad 1 is probably steeply discounted because they want to get that off the shelves, or they still want to promote that product. And the other thing about buying new technology is you never know about the glitches that are going to be in them. So I kind of steer clear of them anyway. But I just really wanted to touch base on those bigger purchases for your children, because a lot of people will come back and say, I have technology in my family, and my teenager wants a new iPad and this, that, and the other. And there's no way I can spend just $100 on a child. But I think it's doable if you plan and you're not really hip up to the newest technology. So I suggest that you go ahead and set a $100 limit for each child. Next, you should be spending for your spouse. At least that's how it is in my house. And I set a pretty low budget for this, actually, about $50 per spouse, which really adds up to be that $100 total per unit. So $50 per person, and it's very doable. And I personally like more of the gifts that people think about than the gifts that are bought directly off the store shelf. So I think it means more in that respect. So $50 per spouse, $100 per children. And from there, it really starts dropping. I think that after your children and your spouse would come your parents. I like to spend usually, sorry, mom and dad, but I usually like to spend between the $25 and $50 mark on both of them together. And I know that sounds really cheap, but it's not, because a lot of it comes from places like Shutterfly.com or Tiny Prints. They're photo gifts. They love those. Grandparents love grandchildren. Grandparents love grand dogs. So it's very simple to go ahead and throughout the year start a collection of Shutterfly books and mugs and magnets. So they're free. That $25 to $50 is awesome. Whenever you're getting these for free, you can hand them a couple of gifts with it. And then maybe onto that, you give them that gift card from restaurants.com or Groupon.com. So these places you need to be checking throughout the year, so that way you know towards Christmas, this is what I'm going to be using. So again, children's $100, spouses are $50 each, parents $25 to $50. Next are your siblings. That's how it usually works in our house. And if you don't have siblings, maybe your grandparents, because my grandparents are just as equal as my siblings. If my siblings are married, I spend $30 on them. If they're not married, they get $25 for Christmas. So I know that that really feels like the spouse is only getting $5, but normally it's a combined gift as well, and that $30 is enough. If they're not married, they get $25. My grandparents, I usually spend about that $25 to $30 as well per unit. Again, very simple to use those Shutterfly codes, anything free, and just keep those in a pile throughout the year, and then get them a nice present with that $20 to $30 as well. So what should you be spending on coworkers and friends? Well, my opinion is anything from $0 to $15. I've never been in a work environment that is asking you to spend hundreds of dollars on your coworkers. I think the one place that I worked, the limit was $20. And I would never spend that on a coworker. I love my coworkers when I worked, but I feel that they all felt the same way too, that $20 was a little bit high to spend on somebody that you work with, and I just agree with that. So I think 15 is that max ceiling, especially if you're buying for several coworkers. If you don't do a Christmas exchange and you're buying for maybe your your close-knit group, $15 three times, $45 right there. That's more than you're spending on your parents. So be careful. My suggestion when it comes to buying for your coworkers is to actually find a set of gifts and then break it up. This year, I don't have coworkers, but I do have close friends. And I found at Sam's Club a 6-set ceramic mug. They're really nice because they're to go, so they're a little different than the regular coffee mugs. They were on clearance for the 6 of them. They were on clearance for $11.99. So I'm going to take those, put in some nice chocolate, some nice coffee, and some nice tea, and I will probably have spent maybe $8 on each present. So buy something bigger that's multiple gifts and add to that. The other way to save on coworkers' gifts is to obviously go ahead and, utilize restaurants, utilize Groupon.com as well. And these sites that I'm mentioning repeatedly are places that are my go-to shopping. So obviously you also want to make sure that you are buying after Christmas when the clearance is there for next year. There are toys stored away in my house right now for this Christmas that I got on December 27th of last year. Also throughout the year, when the Christmas season is over, usually it's not a great time to buy. But whenever the back to school season is in, it's actually a really good time to buy because you have a lot of book bags that are going to be marked down that maybe your son or daughter needs a new book bag by now. They're really rough on them. So they're a great idea for Christmas presents. Also, throughout the year, if you're couponing, stocking stuffers are the freebies that you get at drugstores are great stocking stuffers. So take advantage of those, keep them in a bag, keep them in a tub, and fill them in with your stockings during the year. Finally, make sure that throughout the year you're saving money, whether it's from extra income that you're making or through a actual dedicated Christmas savings club. However it is, make sure that you are saving money so that way whenever November and December roll around, you're not hit so hard with the shock of the $500 at once. If you like the tips that you heard here, leave a comment. If you have more tips on how you can save on Christmas presents, let me know. You can go to the niftythrifty.blogspot.com to leave those comments. You can also visit my site or my Facebook page. Leave a little love there too if you would like. I hope this was informative for you today and that you're not overwhelmed with trying to re-budget your Christmas shopping. But in the end, I think you'll be very excited that you did. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope everybody has a great start to their holiday season. Bye.